Welcome to Trade Pro. In this video, I'm going to be covering whether or not I think the bottom is in for Bitcoin and why. I'm also going to be covering 3 altcoins that I think are setting up really nicely from a technical perspective for dollar cost averaging that should have a lot of potential in the near future for huge growth. So I'm going to get into things and cover the reasoning behind why I believe what I believe, starting on Bitcoin with the daily time frame here, where I've chosen a couple indicators to illustrate my point nicely. And of course, you can use many different technical indicators to do your technical analysis and come up with your thesis. I have chosen these ones at random just because they illustrate my point nicely, but I could do the same sort of analysis with many different indicators. So just to show you, it's not just about indicators. We're talking about market structure and indicators here that have led me to believe what I believe. So let's get into things without further ado. Starting on Bitcoin. So let's answer the question right now. Do I think that the bottom is currently in? And the answer is yes, I do believe the bottom is most likely in on Bitcoin, and I'll cover all the reasons why that is the case and why that's what I believe, starting with market structure on the daily time frame. So we had this downtrend here on the daily, making lower highs and lower lows. We broke that downtrend right here. So our market structure changed. We are no longer able to see a lower high on the daily time frame, which is our first sign that this trend is reversing and looking to form a bottom. When this happened, the next thing I was looking for was a higher low. We got the higher low right here compared to the ultimate low back here. And as soon as we saw this strong bullish candle, the next thing I was looking for was a higher high. Okay, so market structure wise, we got the break in the downtrend, formed a higher low, and formed a higher high. So the next thing that I'm looking for on market structure is another higher low compared to this low around 34,400. Okay, so all we have to see is somewhere in here form a higher low, and then going to be looking for another higher high. That's the market structure outlook here on the daily time frame, and that's the first bullish sign that I noticed when we got this break in the downtrend. Now, we can also take a look onto our technical indicators and talk about a few things. First of all, let's talk about our stochastic K, which is this purple line. We have a full reset. So by that I mean the last time it was oversold down here, we're already reset on the stochastic K at the bottom here, and price is making a higher low compared to the last time the stochastic K had reset. So the stochastic K is already ready. It's already loaded up, ready for another move to the upside. It's already in the oversold territory, but price is at a higher low. So we can also take a look at another thing on our indicator here, which is the hidden bullish divergence. So what that means is we have our indicator making a lower low at a couple points along the way here, while our price makes a higher low. So this just gives us another layer to look at and kind of say, okay, we have hidden bullish divergence. Our indicator stochastic K is already reset. We have bullish market structure forming. And finally, let's take a look at our OBV on the daily here, forming higher lows and higher highs along with the price action. So this is exactly what we want to see for forming a bottom, and these are the factors that I'm looking at on the daily time frame that are leading me to believe that the bottom is very likely in, and I have a clear invalidation level, which is right on this bottom at 34.3, 34.4 area. If this is broken, that no longer holds the thesis of higher lows and higher highs, market structure is lost. So we have clear invalidation level, and I believe the risk to reward ratio is quite good at these levels. Although seeing another push down here, who knows whether or not that's going to happen. That's just what I believe. Now, another thing I want to take a look at is a higher time frame angle here. So if we'll just go out to the weekly, and ultimately what I'm looking at on the weekly is a bull flag. So when we see something like a strong push to the upside followed by a sideways consolidation, that can be seen as a continuation pattern, a big bull flag. So weekly time frame, we see a nice strong push to the upside, nice consolidation sideways. So overall, the outlook and the most likely scenario to me is a continuation move to the upside out of here once this consolidation finishes. Can this drop more? Yes, of course it can, but based on the daily factors and the weekly factors combined, I personally have kind of arrived at the conclusion that the bottom is most likely currently in, okay, based on all those factors. Now, we'll go back down to the daily time frame and let's just talk about what are the bears looking at here. So from a bearish perspective, we can, get rid of our indicators, and I think what bears are really looking at here, and what is a valid, it's a valid thing to look at, is just kind of an overall bear flag on the daily time frame here. You see this strong push to the downside, followed by this sort of consolidation sideways, and they're just looking for a continuation down, just like on the weekly, how I'm looking for a continuation to the upside with a much larger bull flag. So we have this bear flag within what is considered somewhat of a bull flag, which is a valid outlook as well, but I just see more reasons to be bullish here than reasons to be bearish. So that's why I do believe the most likely scenario is that the bottom is in, and that it's a great opportunity to be dollar cost averaging for, if you're a long-term holder here. So this is not talking about trading or leverage trading, definitely just for buying and holding long term. I think you're at a great opportunity here, and you should not be holding back on loading up, dollar cost averaging at these levels, and if it drops anymore. Okay, so that's kind of all my reasoning behind Bitcoin, why I think that the bottom is currently in most likely. And of course, anything can happen. No one knows what is going to happen. We can only form a thesis and have a higher probability of one thing happening over another. And as someone who doesn't look online at all, no social media, no news about the crypto markets or financial markets, I purely make my own mind up based on my personal technical experience. I think it's a bit of a smarter decision to make your own mind up than to kind of get lost in the crowd think. So we'll see based on the comment section if I am with the crowd or kind of going against the grain here. But I'm hoping a lot of people are going to disagree with me, because that will definitely improve the chances that I'm actually right and that the bottom is most likely in. But anyway, just kind of a fun explanation here with the reasoning behind why I think the bottom is in. So now I'm going to talk about the altcoins, the three that I think have really nice setups, and why those setups have worked really well in the past, and normally on lower time frames, but how these high time frame patterns that I'm seeing on these specific altcoins are very likely to offer great risk to reward ratios for dollar cost averaging and hodling for the next few years. So let's take a look at those three altcoins and what I think about them. Now, here are three of the altcoins that I believe have a lot of potential in the near future for further upside and continuation to new all-time highs. Now, of course, there's plenty of other options out there as well, but these are three that are good examples of what I'm talking about. And we're talking here about Litecoin, Stellar Lumens, and VE Chain. See how they are all setting up in a very similar way, with large moves to the upside, followed by three-wave corrective moves to the downside. So someone who follows Elliott wave theory could see this as an impulsive move to the upside, followed by an ABC correction to the downside. Or you could just think of it as a big bull flag, looking for a continuation move to the upside for new all-time highs in the near future. And what I'm saying here isn't that these bottoms have to be in right now, but I'm just saying I wouldn't want to not have any skin in the game at this time. Once you see this low broken for the first wave to the downside, so this comes down, finally breaks that level, down here is a great accumulation range for all three of these. So this level here is broken, start accumulating dollar cost averaging down on what's considered the third final wave down, or the C wave if you're thinking Elliott wave theory. But This is a great opportunity, in my opinion, to be loading up, and I wouldn't want to be down here with no skin in the game and not adding to long-term holdings, as the risk to reward ratio is really fantastic at these levels, and the setup is really fantastic. These have a really nice setup, and we have so much potential to see 500, 600% moves to the upside for new all-time highs, if not more than that, in the future. So to not be interested in these at this level would be crazy to me, although not saying that this can't come down farther, and I would look at any further movement down as more opportunity to actually add to long-term holdings. So these are three of the ones I'm looking at. Of course, there's plenty of other opportunities out there, but I just think these ones illustrate what I'm talking about really nicely, with these nice looking 3-wave corrections after large moves to the upside, which oftentimes are bull flags that are going to continue to the upside, or ABC corrections if you're someone who's into Elliott wave theory. But anyway, ultimately looking for these to head to the upside, and do believe that this is a good opportunity to be adding into long-term holdings and dollar cost averaging. All right, so that's what I'm looking at, the 3 altcoins and my outlook on Bitcoin currently. Of course, I can be wrong, just like anyone else can be wrong, but I'm just saying what I'm thinking, what I'm doing. I'm not a financial advisor, so do whatever you think is best. I'm just doing what I believe is going to work out most positively for me. So that's it for the video, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed something a bit different than normal. And of course, everything I say is just my own opinion. Everyone's going to have their own analysis and their own plan for what they're doing. So don't take this as financial advice. It's just entertainment and education from my perspective. Okay? Thank you guys for watching, and have a great day.